Welcome to our brand new explainer. Today, I'm stepping in as your personal mentor for a deep dive masterclass into the truly life-changing philosophy of Naval Ravikant. If you've been searching for a radically different perspective on the two things we're all constantly chasing, wealth and happiness, you are absolutely in the right place. We're unpacking the Almanack of Naval Ravikant, so get comfortable because what we're about to cover, it's going to completely rewire how you think. Let's get right into it. Okay, let's shatter a massive myth right out of the gate. People think getting rich is all about luck, right? Wrong. Making money isn't just something you do. It is a highly trainable skill that you learn. Think about it. Naval argues that if he lost absolutely everything and was dropped on a random street, within 5 to 10 years, he'd be wealthy all over again. Why? Because wealth isn't a lottery ticket. Just like you learn to drive a car or write code, you can literally train yourself to build capital. And today, we're handing you the blueprints to master that exact skill. Section 1. The Wealth Creator's Mindset. We are starting at ground zero here, completely rewiring how you view the world so we can move away from those exhausting status games and focus on building true, lasting abundance. So the crucial takeaway on this point is understanding the fundamental difference between status, money, and wealth. Status? Well, that's a zero-sum game. For someone to go up, someone else has to go down. It's like fighting over the last slice of pie. Money is simply how we transfer value. It's the recipe we trade with. But true wealth? That's building your very own bakery that keeps baking pies 24/7, even while you're fast asleep. We need to stop chasing status, stop trading our precious time for money, and focus absolutely everything on accumulating real, working assets. Let's compare two totally different paths. The employee path is essentially renting out your time. It's like being on a treadmill. You walk, the belt moves, you get paid. But the second you get tired and stop, the money stops completely. Your time is limited, right? Now, the creator path is more like planting an orchard. Yeah, you work incredibly hard up front, planting and watering the trees, but eventually that orchard grows and bears fruit all on its own. To gain real financial freedom, you absolutely have to step off the treadmill and own equity, a piece of a business or intellectual property. Moving on to Section 2, specific knowledge and leverage. Now, what's really fascinating about this next concept is how it literally allows you to break free from the competition altogether just by doubling down on your unique obsessions. So look at this breakdown. There's a massive difference between traditional and specific knowledge. Traditional knowledge is what they teach in school, meaning anyone can learn it, which means you are easily replaceable. But specific knowledge? That's entirely different. It's born from your genuine curiosity and your personal hobbies. To you, it just feels like play. You could do it for hours without breaking a sweat, even though to everyone else, it looks like incredibly hard work. And the best part? Building specific knowledge makes you immune to envy. You aren't competing with anyone because nobody can be a better you than you. You're turning work into highly profitable play. And this right here perfectly illustrates the absolute magic of leverage. Once you have that specific knowledge, you need a tool to deliver it to the world at a massive scale. In the past, leverage meant capital and labor. You needed other people's money or an army of employees. But today, the internet gives us permissionless leverage. We're talking about code and media. A podcast, a piece of software, a YouTube video, these act as a 10,000 to 1 multiplier. They work tirelessly for you while you sleep, and they never, ever ask for overtime pay. This process of creating value is just so incredibly powerful. First, you uncover your unique value through constant iterative trial and error. You try one thing, tweak it, try another, until you hit that sweet spot, that 1% of effort that brings the maximum result. And then you strike gold. You apply your leverage and you stamp it out infinitely. Basically, you solve the problem once and you scale the solution thousands of times. Section 3. The Power of Personal Accountability. Let's see how stepping out of the shadows and embracing risk under your own name is the ultimate catalyst for earning society's trust and equity. You really can't just hide in the background and expect to be handed the keys to the kingdom. Society actively seeks out people who are willing to say, hey, I've got this, and if it fails, that's entirely on me. By putting your actual name and reputation on the line, you are commanding the highest form of leverage. Sure, it feels risky, but society pays top dollar for that accountability, rewarding you with real capital and influence. Good intentions don't really matter here. It's your actions and your willingness to completely own the outcomes that capture true value. Which brings us to a really profound pivot in our masterclass today. Let's say your basic financial needs are totally met through the leverage and equity we just talked about. Well, What's next? How do you develop the ultimate skill of long-term happiness? We are shifting gears now from the pure mechanics of wealth creation to the absolute alchemy of inner peace. Because honestly, it's wild how many people confuse wealth with wisdom. Let's make you rich, and then let's make you happy. Section 4, happiness as a trainable skill. Just like building wealth, happiness is absolutely not a genetic lottery. It's not something you just magically discover. It is a deliberate, highly malleable skill that you have to actively train. I want you to really let this sink in. Happiness, love, passion, you don't just stumble upon them out in the wild. They are choices you make. The human mind is just as trainable as the physical body. We spend so much exhausting energy trying to change the outside world, politics, other people, while just blindly accepting our own internal programming from childhood. But true joy? That's a proactive choice. It comes from cultivating a genuine indifference to the things you simply cannot control. This diagram right here, it perfectly captures the brutal truth of life. Easy choices equal a hard life, hard choices equal an easy life. If you're constantly taking the path of least resistance, sitting on the couch, eating junk food, endlessly scrolling social media for those cheap, short-term dopamine hits, your life, in the long run, is going to be incredibly difficult. But if you choose the hard path today, embracing discipline, sweating it out, making the tough calls, that is the only guaranteed way to build a genuinely easy, peaceful life tomorrow. Section 5. Habits for clear thinking. Since we are essentially just the sum of our daily routines, let's explore how we can swap out those thoughtless impulses for deliberate actions that actually bring you lasting peace. Okay, this requires some ruthless action. First, you've got to cut out the cheap thrills. Alcohol, excess sugar, endless doom scrolling. These things hijack your mood, giving you a fake 5-minute high in exchange for long-term misery. You need to replace them with real, stabilizing inputs. I'm talking about daily sunlight, rigorous exercise, positive thinking, meditation. Doing this literally stabilizes your mind, and a stable mind guarantees clear, high-level decision-making. And trust me, clear thinking is the foundational requirement for both wealth and happiness. Section 6, Action Plan, 3 steps to integration. Now, to make sure this explainer actually transforms your daily life, we've distilled all of Naval's wisdom into a simple 3-step action plan you can start right now. Step 1. Set an absurdly ambitious personal hourly rate. If a task costs less to outsource than your new rate, delegate it or completely ignore it. Step 2. Implement the ultimate life formula, where your physical health is the absolute baseline for everything. We're talking daily exercise, a clean diet, and getting enough sleep. Without that energy, you can't build wealth anyway. And step 3. Pick just one bad habit. Create a trigger to replace it and track it meticulously. Discipline is the bridge to the new you. Look, as your mentor for this session, I'd be doing you a massive disservice if I didn't leave you with this stark reality. Ultimately, you have to take responsibility. You have to save yourself. There is literally no doctor who can make you healthy, no nutritionist who can make you fit, and definitely no guru who can make you rich or peaceful. Nobody can do the heavy lifting for you. You, and only you, are responsible for your success. So, this brings us to the end of our explainer. I want you to really take a moment to reflect on your specific knowledge, your daily habits, and where you might be dodging responsibility. What is the one hard choice you are going to make today to guarantee a wealthier and happier tomorrow? Start putting these principles into action, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.